Ashwini had mentioned a little bit, he had elaborated on the power sector itself, and that there is this whole value chain, right? From the fuel resources, which are the energy resources which will be used to create the power, then the generation, transmission, and then the consumption, as well as the things which will support all this, which is the equipment manufacturers and the financing, right? So there is this whole ecosystem which is the opportunity. And interestingly, except for one or two bits and pieces, majority of it is still unidentified by the market. Okay. And so this whole opportunity becomes quite rich. And as we discussed earlier, it has number of slightly different growth vectors within itself, right? So if you talk about energy resources, that's a kind of a different growth vector. If you talk about the financing infrastructure for that, that's a different growth vector. If you talk about the generation companies, that's a different kind of a play, right? And each will have its own trajectory. And then in India, I mean, it's such a large country physically, geographically, that the grid becomes important. Okay. The grid is actually a technically very challenging thing. And then how do you transmit? So there has to be, some state or some region of India is generating surplus and some other region in India has a deficit. And in real time, you have to bridge the gap. So someone has to do the trading between these regions, and someone has to actually make the power move from eastern side to western side of the country, or the other way around, or from north to south. And of course, now we are also doing some exports to neighboring countries. So all of this is a very, each of those has a different growth opportunity, different kind of growth function, and you can take benefit of all of that. So this whole kind of a portfolio we have designed so that you can take opportunity across this value chain, across this ecosystem. And there's some very exciting things there, like what is typically called platform companies, etc. And there are traditional companies as well.